guys are here just in time to get the lag here between Ronnie Alcano and Alex Kazakis. Looks like he hit that ball a little bit too hard and he knew it, so he's going to go ahead and hand that over to Ronnie. So Ronnie's going to be the first to break in this set. We are playing 9-ball, race to 7, here at the Maryland State 9-ball Championship, brought to you by On the Hill Productions.
All right. All right. Jake Lawson back in the booth. We are bringing you Ronnie Alcano versus Alex Kazakis. First big TV table match of the day. Of course, both of these players are in town. I want to give a little shout out to Darren Appleton. His event, World Pool Series, is next weekend. Sean Wilkie and I will be up there for that one. And so you have Kachi and Kazakis in town for that. So we appreciate them coming down and playing in our tournament as well. Got a little update on a match that just finished. Kenny Kwasny over Aaron Beeson, 7-3. So good job to Kenny. So if you guys are just joining the stream, if you haven't been watching all day, we're at the Maryland State 9-ball Championship here in Champion Billiards in Frederick. Tournament is brought to you by On the Hill Productions. Great staff here. So if you're in the area, stop by. There's plenty of tables and chairs around here to watch all the action that's going on. And if you're here with us on BSN, feel free to share the stream. We certainly do appreciate it. Hello, Julia, my wife, tuning in, watching the stream. Wow, he almost kicked that 3-ball in. Pretty good shot there by Ronnie. Puts a 3-ball all the way up on the rail. It's gonna be a tough one for Alex here. He gonna like to play the bank here if he's feeling courageous. 4 balls in a tough spot. He can also try to elect to play safe here if he wants. So as you can see here, he's probably in a couple different thought processes. So he's gonna take his time, stand back up, take a look at everything, see what he wants to shoot here. So he likes to play the safe, trying to get the 5-ball in between the 3 and the cue ball, but 3-ball just scoots out just a little bit. He's going to leave it for Ronnie. Ronnie's going to probably go 2 rails down here underneath to try to get under the 9 and the 4, but he doesn't quite get there. But 5-ball still in the way. He leaves the edge of it for Kazakis, though. He just thins it, lets the cue ball come down table. And again, he's going to leave a little bit of the edge here for Ronnie. This is not a very good shot here by the Volcano. 3-ball scooches out. And he's going to leave a shot here for Kazakis. If Kazakis can get this cue ball back to the other rail, or basically back to where he's at right now, so that he can have a shot on the 4. Wants to make sure that the 9-ball doesn't come into play there. And it's a good shot. So he'll just come up here for the 5. Natural angle there with the tangent line. Leave himself a little bit of an angle. Now he can do a couple different things. He can come down into the bottom right rail. That way he can come all the way down and get to the 6. Or he can go short side. And he hits it he hits it perfect. Gets all the way down, gets straight in on it, but that's okay. The 8-ball is by the pocket for him, so Godspell. Wellnitz. I played Wellnitz earlier in an earlier match. Very good player. I was able to get the win, 7-6. So he's going to bounce on over to the B side. Nice strong stroke by Kazakis. Gets around to get position on the 9-ball. Just like that. Ronnie makes a costly mistake on the 3-ball. And he allows Alex to get out of that set. Or out of that rack, sorry. Alternating break, so Kazakis will break here. Controls the break, lays the cue ball in the middle of the table, but he breaks dry.
Adams, Mike Hooper, table 3. Dede Adams, Mike Hooper, table 3. So Ronnie doesn't leave himself a favorable shot here, so it looks like he's probably just going to play safe. Put the cue ball up behind the 5. Stephanie Manny, thanks for joining us. Maybe you can get Tony to put this up on the big screen at Brews. Of course, Brews and Q's is one of our sponsors for the stream. Brews and Q's out on the Boulevard, out in Glenbury. My house pool room, owned by my good friends Tony Manning and Steph Manning. Thank you guys for your support.
So a kick by Kazakis. And he leaves the cue ball snookered right behind the 7 ball. So Ronnie's going to be going to the air here most likely. Which is not a bad shot. He can jump this and possibly make the 3 in the corner. If not, he could hit it full. Leave the cue ball up there behind the 8 ball. So he's got a couple different options here. He's going to the air. And that's why it was a good jump shot there. So he hits the 3 a little full, doesn't cut it, and leaves the cue ball snookered right behind the 4 ball for Kazakis. So you can see here, he might have to maybe go 1 rail here if he wants to try to make it. It's probably the only shot he's got here. Oh, and he hits the 7 ball. So it's going to be ball in hand for the Volcano. 4 ball and 7 are tied up now down the rail. Larry Flager, thanks for tuning in and watching us. Of course, Larry Flager is sponsoring the stream here at BSN as well. And his company, East Coast Landscaping, down there out of Hampton Roads in Virginia, servicing the Virginia Beach, Northern Virginia area. Of course, he goes all over, residential and commercial. So, Larry, we appreciate your support, and thanks for joining us here. Sorry you couldn't be here with us today. Ronnie makes a good shot there on the combo. 4 ball by the pocket. So he'll just bring his cue ball back down here into the middle of the table. He'll play the 5 into the side pocket. He rolled a little far, so he elected to play the 5 in the corner to get position on the 7. Now all he has to do is just pull this cue ball out a little bit for a shape on the 8. Which he does. Great shot. Leaves himself an angle to come back down on the 9. Hits at just great speed to make sure he doesn't come too far. So automatic shot there for Ronnie. So you're tied here at the Maryland State 9-ball champions, 1-1. If you're just joining us, I saw some people coming in. You're watching Ronnie Alcano and Alex Kazakis on a winner side match. We're broadcasting live from Champion Billiards in Frederick, Maryland. This has been a great tournament so far. Really brought pool back to Maryland here with On the Hill Productions and Rick Scarlato and Loy and all his staff. Done a great job here. Last year, 3 bar box championships, 8, 9, and 10. This year, 6 tournaments altogether. 3 on the bar box, 3 on the big tables. Of course, last time we were here at Champions, we had the Maryland State 8-ball, which you witnessed Sean Wilkie took down, beat James Aranis and beat Ronnie Alcano in the finals to take the title. So Sean's back here today to try to get his next title here at the Maryland State. And of course, he picked up another one not too long ago out in Pennsylvania. He's also your PA State 10-ball champion. So kudos to Sean. Great job. But right now, Ronnie's trying to make a bid to win the tournament, but he scratches. So if you joined us earlier, you saw Ronnie scratch 3 times, basically back-to-back in a match against Dylan Spohr, and let the young Dylan Spohr get back in. It was a hill battle, which Ronnie eventually pulled out. Just some costly mistakes that you don't typically see from a player like Ronnie. Of course, Ronnie is a 2-time world champion. Very good one-pocket player as well. And Alex Kazakis in his right is a champion, of course. Hailing from Greece. So he should make light work of this table. Depending on the angle here, he will probably just draw this cue ball back here to play the 8 in the corner. Got a couple other updates on the scores that just came in. Let me update the score here first, and then we'll fill you in on some of the other matches that are happening around here at the tournament. So Tim Tanana wins over Loy Billiard. Hill Thriller. Tim pulls it out 7-6. And Brian Jones from Pennsylvania over Rob Geiger from Virginia. Brian wins 7-3. And Steve Fleming. Steve Fleming is from Lights Out Billiards Apparel. One of the strong open players here from Maryland that I sponsor. He wins over his opponent. I don't want to butcher the name, but he wins 7-4. So great job for Steve. Patrick Gruber, thanks for joining us. So Kazakis breaks. Cue ball gets a little bit away from him. Stays on the table. He pockets a ball. He's going to have a shot on the 1 ball. And this table is actually opens up pretty good for him here. Doesn't have to do too much with the cue ball to get position on the 2. Everything's pretty much out in the open. So he's going to go ahead and take a look and see where he prefers to take his next shot at. Plays it to the rail and off. So Kazakis just eyeing it up right here, trying to see what he wants to do. You just roll this 4-ball off the rail. You can play the 6 to the side, but he decides to come all the way around. And a little bit of a tough angle there on the 6-ball, because now he's have a tough time playing the 6 or 7 in the side. Once he bangs it out to the rail here, so he's taking a look at it here, see what he wants to do. He could come 2 rails back around for the 7 in the same pocket. Or 2 rails to play the 7 in the side. It comes up, I think he's okay here. A lot of times when you're taking a look at the run-outs, there's a couple different ways to do it. And it just really depends on, really what he wants to do here. So he could go forward with this, or he could draw back, depending on how he wants to play the 8-ball. He goes 3 rails around. Good shack by Alex. Cuts the 8-ball up in the corner. Comes red and 1 rail for position on the 9. And he's staying in the driver's seat here. He's focused. And you have to be here when you're playing the likes of Ronnie Alcano. So Kazakis leads here 3-1. Alternate break format, so Ronnie will get back here at the table. Race to 7 here at the Maryland State 9-ball championship. Ronnie is one of the great players that have come out of the Philippines. He's been back here in action for the last year or so, playing lots of tournaments. Good break by Ronnie. He pockets the ball. He's got a shot on the 1-ball. Brings the cue ball down in the middle of the table for the 3. A little slide action on the cue ball for a position on the 4. He'll take a look to see where he likes to be here on the 5-ball. Good shot there by Ronnie. Brings cue ball off the rail for a 7. Great shot. He'll put a little right hand Spin on a cue ball, come down right into the 9. A little stretcher here for Ronnie. Then he gets out of the rack. Break and run by Ronnie Alcano to keep himself in striking distance against Kazakis. So if you're tuning in, drop your comments on here. If you tell us who you like, who do you like to win the tournament? You have lots of players here today. Have some top pro players. Is it going to be a pro that wins this event, or is it going to be one of the open local players to win? Drop your comments below. Let's see who you like. Kazakis breaks. Looks like you can tell the 7 and 9 pretty much didn't move at all, so it must have been loose around the rack there. But he does pocket the ball, and he's got a shot on the 2 ball. So you can see he's taking a look at the table just to see if the 7 ball is going to go by there or not. Really got to see where he's got to get position-wise. Larry, that's a tough one, buddy, but I appreciate that. Of course, I had my first big tournament win last month down in Virginia Beach. Lost to Steve Fleming for the hot seat. He just steamrolled me and made my way back to the finals and beat my good friend Steve in a hill thriller. So I feel like I'm shooting good. Raymond obviously is a very tough and experienced player. One of the bright young Filipino players. Certainly one of the best out of Virginia Beach. Of course, he's friends with us as well. So let's see what Kazakis is going to do here with the 7. He's already looked at it a few times. It may go by there. It's hard to tell kind of from where we're at. If it does go by, he's not going to have to do too much here with the 6 ball. Just bring the cue ball back down table on the left side of the 7. He doesn't want to get too far, though. He needs to get position on the 8. And he doesn't want to get too short either, so... Of course, it definitely looks like the 7 ball goes in the side pocket, so that could be the option, too, that he's looking at. So he comes all the way down the table and elects to play the the 7 ball on the side. Comes a little bit too far now because now he's going to have to be jacked up here a little bit on the rail to make sure that he gets back here to be able to see a shot here on the 8 ball. Unless he's got a nice angle where he can just run up the table and come back down for the 8, which it doesn't look like he does. So he's going to be bringing this ball back. He's got to be very careful. Put a good shot, good stroke on it. And look at this. Look at this. It's such a tough shot. He ends up catching the rail and banks it in the cross corner. Unbelievable. Hits that ball a little thin, but he's okay. Comes up table, got a good shot here on the 9. And Alex Kazakis goes up 4-2 over Ronnie Alcano. So Ronnie's going to have to step it up, get in gear here. Trails Kazakis 4-2. Yes, Mike, he certainly did come to play. One of the great players out of Europe.
Brian Jones, Mike Munoz, table 6. Brian Jones, Mike Munoz, table 6.
Ronnie tried to control the break. Cue ball got kicked around and ends up getting in perfect shape on the 1 ball to get started here. So, and this table looks very dangerous for Kazakis because Ronnie is going to be primed to run this out. Not a lot to do here. Just roll the cue ball forward. And then he's going to have the 3 ball right in the corner pocket. I mean, in the side pocket. Plays a little stun shot on the 3. 5 ball sits by the side pocket. So he's just got to bring it back here a little bit. And he's got a good angle here. He makes it look so easy, folks. Makes light work of that rack. Ronnie is within 1 now. I really like the format here, alternating break. You can have 2 really great players. And they're both going to have their opportunity at the table to break and try to run out and control the table. Alex really paying attention to the rack here. He doesn't want to, wants to make sure that he takes care of his serve here, as they say. Takes care of his break. Wants to try to control the cue ball. Make a ball and get out. Big break there by Kazakis. So I'm joined here in the booth by Jennifer Beretta.
Hello.
Jennifer, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for joining us here. So we have a great match here. Two-time world champion Ronnie Alcano versus Alex Kazakis. And, of course, Alex is a great player from over in Europe. He certainly has some titles under his belt. And pretty evenly matched right now. Alex leading Ronnie by game.
Yeah, Alex is an excellent player, and his break is just insane.
It's funny because a lot of times when you're watching 9-ball, you know, you see some players just really trying to go after it and destroy the rack. But both of these guys, you know, in this format, are just really trying to control the break. Everybody's using control break today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the wing ball should really go in every time you break, and you want to keep control of that cue ball and get the 1 to go or the 2 to go somewhere good. So, you know, crushing them, sometimes you lose the cue ball. It's better to just rely on that wing ball going in and play position for the 1 or the 2, because sometimes the 1 goes in the side.
So pretty routine out here. Kazakis just slides the ball down for the 8. Doesn't have to do much here for the 9.
He's got such a solid pre-shot routine. He just never looks like he's going to miss.
And Kazakis will go up 5-3. So it's always funny when we talk about some of these top players. You know, we're just in the beginning stages of the bracket, and a lot of times, you know, when you have two bigger players, you don't really want to see them until later on. They don't want to see each other, and you know, we're lucky enough to have these two titans playing right now.
Yeah, and these are the 2 best in the bottom half of the bracket. All of the rest of the champions are in the top half of the bracket, so it's kind of unfortunate for them to meet so early.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great for us.
Yeah,
unfortunate
you're right.
for them. And unfortunate for whoever's on the loser's side after this.
So we got a couple updates, some matches that just came in here. Mikey Fingers, Michael Bad Stubiner. He loses to Paul Kogel 7-5, so he's out. Paul will continue on. And James Aranis over local Tony Long 7-1. And Trevor Dents over S. Connolly 7-1. So a little bigger break there by Ronnie. Pockets the ball. He's going to have a shot on the 1.
Yeah, and the thing with this break is that if the 1 doesn't go on the side and the 2's racked in the back, both of them are going to end up table.
Yeah.
Did the 2 go off? The 2 must have banked in. But it's good to play your cue ball up table with that more controlled break.
So a good shot there by Ronnie, bumping the 4 ball out. Doesn't have a huge angle here.
Yeah, the key shot here is really going to be the 5 to the 6, but it's not. And he's a little straight on this. He might just choose to stay close to where he is and draw across the table and back for the 6. Or he could draw it straight back to the rail, but it seems like he has a little bit of the wrong angle, so you know, he risks coming off that top rail, like maybe scratching or coming off the top rail, sort of in the same place that he is.
Right.
Paul Kogel, line lead, table 10. Paul Kogel, line lead, table 10.
And he used spin to create the angle that he wanted. That was a great shot.
Great shot by Ronnie.
Should just draw back a little bit here, maybe come in 2 rails from the 6 to the 7 or 1 rail. I think these guys like 2 rails better. Nice long line into the ball. Right into the stop shot.
Yeah, he made that rack look easy, but the toughest shot was getting how he created that position there on the 5.
Yeah, it took a very accurate stroke. If you mishit that ball a little bit, the cue ball can take a funny line.
Now Ronnie's within 1. So Jen, you played earlier today.
I did. I played 2 matches.
2 matches. So tell us a little bit about that. Did you win both matches?
I won both matches.
Okay.
You know, in one, the table was racking bad, so that was. I actually like those matches where there's a lot of safety play, there's a lot of kicking, and I came out ahead in that one. And then I had another match where the wing ball was just flying in for both of us, and you know that was over really quickly, and I got away with that one too.
So Jennifer Bretta still on the A side. So far the last couple racks here have gone back and forth. Both players have broken ran. So Kazakis will be looking to have another controlled break here.
Yep, it looks like he puts a little bit of outside on the break, because if the 1 doesn't go on the side, then it sort of posts up in the opposite corner. In this case, it did go in, and his 2 went up table like it's supposed to. And he's got a decent shot. Getting on the 3, he's got a little bit of a wide angle. He could elect to run into it. Maybe try to go into the rail and then sort of knock the 3 over toward the pocket.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. Cue ball got kicked up table, then down table, and now the 2 and the 3 layout. You know, not an optimal situation.
I mean, if
here.
this is what he does, he has to hit a very specific part of the 3 because it doesn't have to work out. And he is queuing up low with some right, so I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah, that was a great shot. That took a lot of control and a lot of care to hit the part of the 3 that he wanted to hit. You could see if that goes much further, it doesn't have to end well.
Yeah, it was
now
a good.
He's got the nice two rails into the 4 probably, just to stay away from the 6. And he wants to make sure he leaves himself an angle on this 4.
To get to the 6.
Yep.
And you can see when Kazakis bumped the 3, I mean, he usually, he let the spin really do a lot of the work for him.
Mm-hmm. But if he hit it too full, that's where things could have gone wrong. He just nicked the side of it, which was exactly what he needed to do. He might have wanted a little bit more angle here, but he's definitely okay. He could probably follow 2 rails between the 8 and the 9. But also, the 4 is a little off the rail. He could just draw this straight back, just sort of cheat the angle a little bit. So we'll see what he decides to do here. The pockets are pretty generous, so sometimes going forward, you run the risk of hitting the point. He might be better off just going backwards.
Yeah.
Looks like he's queuing low. I think he came to the same decision. Just kept it simple. It was a little close to the rail. I'm sure he doesn't like that, but you know, he could just go 1 rail, come right into the 7. He sort of doesn't want the angle going toward the 9, but he might not want to complicate the shot and put outside on it. So he might accept a little bit of inside angle. Let's see what he does.
Yeah, luckily for Kazakis, he does have the angle, even though he's shooting off the rail here. And it looks like he's queuing a tad inside.
Yeah, a tad
there.
of inside, yeah. So maybe it's a little wider than it looks from here. Because I was thinking he needed outside.
Well, how'd he hit it?
It's a little bit on the wrong side, but I think he's fine here.
A little on the wrong side, came all the way down table.
I don't think he needed that inside.
No.
He could probably straighten this out, sort of throw it in and pull it back. Oh, okay.
Wow. I don't know if he planned on bumping the 8 ball,
Yeah, that could have been bad. That could have gone on the side, right? He didn't look surprised, though. Somebody behind us was, but I heard him say, whoa.
So he's probably going to just pull this cue ball back a little bit here off the 8.
Yeah, just try to get off the rail. That's a nice shot. If you watched any of the World Cup, you know why it's best to be off the rail when you're shooting the 9 ball.
Some definite heartbreakers there. And Kazakis is going to be the first one to the hill. So Ronnie's alternate break format here. Ronnie's going to get a shot back at the table. Unfortunately, though, Alex is going to get to break again on the hill, no matter what happens here in this rack. So he'll be in control of his own destiny, as they say.
That's one of the things about the alternate break format is that you have, against great players, you have to hold serve. You have to win when it's your turn to break because they're probably going to win when it's their turn to break.
Yeah, that's a good point. And just as you've seen, as you sat down, each player's had their shot at the break. They were able to run out. And so if that stays true here, Kazakis will be in a good position. But right now, Ronnie's trying to get back in it.
I haven't seen Ronnie around too much. Is this?
He's actually been, I've seen him a lot lately. You know, he did take some time off. He did play a couple tournaments over in Vegas. And he does have, he has some help here in Virginia. So he's been kind of staying down this way as of lately. So some of the Virginia tournaments he's been down last weekend or 2 weekends ago, he was down at Virginia Beach. Lost to Johnny Archer in the finals of the Action Pool Tour. And, of course, he's been at 2 of the Maryland State events so far. Lost to Sean Wilkie at the last Maryland State 8-ball in the finals. So he's been right there all along.
Yeah. No, that's a tricky shot when you're on the rail like that. And he's worried about coming across the 5, and there was a lot going on there. You still figure him to make it, but he sort of jumped up when he shot it.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, a lot of times people that are watching at home, some of the amateur players, you know, that may be watching, I mean, you know, even though it's a tough shot for you, you know, sometimes with a lot of the pros, I mean, if you're on the rail and it's long, it's not any easier for them. You know, it's just about, you know, staying down, keeping control of your speed, and making sure you put a good stroke on it.
Yeah, and especially when you feel like you could get behind a ball or get over a ball and you have that bad thought in your head. Sometimes that'll cause you to steer or to miss or to try to get the cue ball to go somewhere where it doesn't really want to go, and you end up missing the ball.
So Kazakis is just taking a look here, see if he likes playing the 5-ball here in the side.
It looks decent in this side.
Yeah, he's got an angle here to come off the rail. He tries to come underneath of it. Look at that.
Yeah, anything to straighten out the angle a little bit is going to make it easier. So even if he lands straight, he's still fine. But it looks like he has a nice angle going into the lower rail, the rail below the pocket.
He probably wants to be on the right side of this 6-ball.
Yep, he's going to go into the rail and out for sure. And you know, he might just elect to stay underneath the 7. Because usually, you know, you don't see good players cross position very often. You know, it's sort of like if you have position, don't play position.
Sure. Troy, this is a side match between Ronnie Alcano and Kazakis.
Yeah, that's a solid choice. It's natural, you know, all he has to do is make the 7. The cue ball is going to go across and land well on the 9.
Yeah, natural angle here for Alex.
It's always good to let the cue ball go where it wants to go. Don't fight the angles. It's one of the things that you'll see the top players do that the lower players don't do. They draw a lot more. The great players let the cue ball go where it wants to.
Sure.
Chris Funk, Miguel Tafano, table 9.
And there you have it, Alex Kazakis over Ronnie Alcano, 7-4.